When I was lead developer for an agency, I noticed something interesting. Everyone was building the same things over and over again. Teams were repeatedly recreating the same fundamental components, just in different ways each time. This observation led me to something important. Things needed to be standardized, but more than that, they needed to be documented in a way that made sense for everyone involved. Let me walk you through the system we've built. There are three components working together: the WeWeb frontend, the Xano backend, and the documentation that bridges everything together. The front-end components solve those basic challenges that often intimidate beginners. We handle things like creating sign-in pages and managing authentication flows. We've built functionality for all the essential needs: login flows, Stripe Connect, subscription management, payment processing. But something interesting happened as I started doing calls with users. The product began to evolve. It shifted away from being focused on components, and what emerged was something far more valuable: comprehensive documentation that explains exactly how everything works together. When you look at our documentation for something like authentication, you can see everything clearly laid out: the endpoints, the database tables, the relationships between the data, every single flow broken down step by step. I've never seen a project where the time for documentation actually arrives. It always gets pushed back to some future date that never seems to come. And that's why we start with documentation. We get the fundamental pieces in place from day one. And what makes this documentation special is how it serves different audiences. For agencies, it provides standardized processes their whole team can follow. For domain experts like doctors or business owners, it bridges the gap between their expertise and technical implementation. This isn't documentation for becoming a developer. It's documentation for people who want to move quickly while understanding enough to be effective. It's about making complex technical concepts accessible without requiring years of coding experience. In Xano, we've organized everything thoughtfully. We track authentication attempts, monitor user sessions, and handle email deliverability, all in one place. Instead of switching between different tools and tabs, everything you need is right here. Take something like Stripe Connect integration. We stripped away everything except what you actually need: onboarding flows, dashboard generation, checkout creation, webhook handling. Everything is clear, traceable, and purposeful. The system keeps improving through constant feedback. When something isn't working perfectly, our community lets us know quickly. The documentation evolves based on real user needs and experiences. We're building new features based directly on what users are asking for. Things like AG Grid integration for real-time data management and comprehensive CSV handling for data imports. Each new feature follows the same principle: make it work seamlessly while keeping it understandable. When technical solutions feel familiar and accessible, it reduces the barrier between business expertise and technical implementation. That's the kind of future we're excited about, where understanding your business is just as valuable as knowing how to code.